So I saw Endgame earlier on in the week. Sorry this review took so long to come out. I wanted to wait until the theaters weren't so packed and just tickets were just booked so far in advance. It took a while for me to be able to actually go and see this movie. And this is going to be a short review because I'm not a fan of time travel movies, so I don't have a lot of things to gush about, even though Marvel's usually so great about their films. The reason, I know it's probably going to make a lot of people angry saying I wasn't a huge fan of the movie because so many people loved it, but it's just time travel movies, like I said, they're just not my cup of tea. Because in time travel movies, you have events that have already happened, and when you go back in time, it just essentially erases all those things. Like, for example, the Gamora that we knew in Guardians of the Galaxy, she's dead, and now we have a past Gamora who's going to be in the future films. She has essentially no relationship with these Guardian characters except her sister, Nebula, and just don't like aspects like that. Also, why not go back in time? I mean, I know Tony wanted to essentially keep his marriage with Pepper and his daughter, but why not go back in time and stay in the time that they were when everyone died? Because bringing them back alive 5 years later is essentially you have people, even who weren't main characters, out in the world who have moved on with their lives, probably who have lost spouses and whatnot and have remarried. And with these people coming back to life 5 years later, it's what's going to happen to them? It causes all sorts of problems. So the execution wasn't very good. Good things I can talk about. Decent effects. I really liked that they had so many MCU characters in the final battle, like when they had all the female superheroes, well, not all of them, but a good majority of them fighting beside each other and helping each other. Harley from Iron Man 3 at Tony's funeral was a very nice touch. Let me think. Can I think of anything else that was a real positive? Hawkeye, or I guess Ronin now, because that's his more darker comic book persona. The Ronin and Black Widow scenes were interesting. I felt like they could have been expanded upon more, but they were decent enough. But just like I said, I'm not a time travel movie person, so I can't really gush and praise this movie. The actors did a good job. The writing was decent. There was decent comedy. I will say this: the comedian Ken Jeong played a very small role in the film. He was in the scene where Scott Lang's van is in storage and Scott bursts out of the portal in this warehouse, and Ken Jeong is a security guard and he sees him, but then it cuts to Ken Jeong watching Scott just walk away from the warehouse. He has no lines, no dialogue. I'm wondering, was there some type of deleted scene? Are we going to see that character later in a future Ant-Man movie? I'm a little stumped by that. And so, yes. So that's really all I can say. And I wanted to correct something I said on my last review about the Aquaman movie. I said that I saw Annabelle, or I thought she was in the movie twice. She's only in the movie once. So I never actually saw her myself until watching the film back. I had just heard about these Easter eggs planted. And so yes, she's only in the film once, not twice. I'm trying to correct myself there. Alright, so thank you guys. Sorry if this makes some of you angry. It's just, like I said, not a time travel movie fan. Alright. And they killed off one of my favorite superheroes. In comics, he can always come back to life, but we know Robert Downey Jr. is done with the role. So it's sad that Tony will no longer be in the films, but actors have to move on and do other projects. I understand that. So, bye. See you on the next review, I suppose.